Hello again. I realized that my last installment was supposed to be my final installment on my series on medicinal oils, but then I realized that some of you did not get to watch my testimony video, that it would explain a little bit more about why I chose to do a presentation on herbal health and medicinal oils and what that actually has to do with this class. So today I'm going to be reading to you out of Matthew, and I'm also going to be talking to you about a few more herbal medications and natural medications. So if you'll turn with me to Matthew chapter 2, I'm not going to read the entire chapter. I'm just going to kind of skip around and paraphrase some of the stuff, but we all know the story. This is about when the wise men were searching for Jesus. So Matthew chapter 2 verse 1. Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he who was born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and have come to worship him. When Herod the king heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. So Herod was upset when he heard this. He felt threatened by Jesus' birth. He was the king. He didn't want another king. So he basically told the wise men to go and look for him and report back to him when they found the child, so he could worship him as well, which we all know was a lie, because he basically wanted to extinguish him. So in verse 9 it says, when they heard what the king had when they heard the king had to say, they departed, and behold, the star which they had seen in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceedingly great joy. And when they had come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented gifts to him, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. So that's what we're going to talk about now, are the gifts that were given to Jesus for his birth, which it says they found him in the house. So a common misconception is that they worshipped him at the manger. But from the time the star first appeared, they could not get there right after his birth. They traveled from far away. So he was a little bit older by the time they reached him. They were already in a house. So back to the gifts. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Now we know the value of gold. It's a precious metal. It was valuable then, and it's valuable now. But everyone may not know what frankincense and myrrh are and why they were so valuable during the time of Christ. So I'm going to read you a little bit about each one. Okay, so first of all, frankincense and myrrh were both resins. They were saps from a tree that turned into a resin. Both were used for medicinal purposes. Some of the uses of frankincense were indigestion, healthy skin, to strengthen the female hormones, to treat arthritis, and these last two are very important, to heal wounds and purify the air. So this was why frankincense was very important and why it was such a valuable gift. They did not have a pharmacy. They used natural treatments such as this. So healing wounds and purifying the air would have been very important. It would have been a very valuable gift for Christ to receive. So the next thing we're going to take a look at is myrrh. It's also a resin from a tree. And I'm going to read you a little bit from Louise Tenney's book again, Today's Herbal Health. And again, I'm not going to tell you everything to do with myrrh. We don't have time for that. I'm just going to tell you a few properties and uses. It's an antiseptic, an antibiotic, antimicrobial, and it's an astringent. So basically it kills germs. It also has healing properties besides just killing germs. It says myrrh was valued in ancient times as a fragrance and healing agent. Egyptian women used to burn myrrh to rid their homes of fleas, and the Chinese used it to heal wounds, among other things. In the Old Testament, it is referred to in the preparation of the holy ointment in Exodus 30, verse 23. In Esther, verse 2 through 15, it's used as a purification herb for women. And in Psalm 45 and 8, it is a perfume. Myrrh is a powerful antiseptic. It has valuable cleansing and healing properties. It helps with stomach and colon problems, soothes and heals inflammation. It provides vitality and strength to the digestive system, among several other things. So those are just a few of the properties and uses of myrrh. I actually have some myrrh gum. It's myrrh resin, but some people call it myrrh gum, for the simple fact that when you start to melt it in some water to make your little tea to use as your antiseptic on your wounds, you can put it, mix it with some water and use it as a mouthwash, things like that. But you have to know what strength to use, because you don't want to take a large dose internally. And if you use it as a mouthwash, you're likely to swallow some of it. So here is the myrrh that I have. Here's one little piece. You can't see very good in this light, but it's kind of like a crystallized texture. It's an amber color. It looks sort of crystallized. So that is myrrh. And then there's one more story I want to talk about just briefly. I'm not going to read the scriptures from that, but if you want to look them up, it is Mark chapter 14, verses 3 through 9. And this is the story of the alabaster jar. This was when Jesus was visiting with friends shortly before his crucifixion. And Mary broke an alabaster jar of oil, which was spikenard, and she poured that over him. And many people that were around at the time didn't like this. They thought she was being wasteful, that could have been sold and the money could be used to help the poor. But Jesus reprimanded them and told them that they would always have the poor. They could help them anytime, but he would only be with them a short time. And that Mary did what she was supposed to do, which was prepare him for burial. I'm going to read you just a little bit now about spikenard. It is from a plant family called valerian. I am a little familiar with valerian. I've used valerian root. I have not used spikenard. So it says spikenard was used as a perfume. It was a very expensive perfume of the day. It was used as a special incense in the temples in Jerusalem. It's used as a sedative. Now that's where the valerian property comes in at. Valerian root is a sedative. In herbal medicine, it was used to treat insomnia, birth difficulties, among other things. So you can also use valerian for that if you have cramps or something, but I don't recommend it strictly for that. But it does slightly relieve your pain by, relaxing you. And if you use it for insomnia, you can use it for a few nights, maybe a week or two. It'll help regulate your natural sleeping cycle, and then after that you can stop taking it. It's non-addictive. It's not like a regular over-the-counter or prescription sleep aid. You don't have to continue to take it. But those are just a few properties and uses of spikenard. I just wanted to tie all this in for you, since many of you didn't get to see my testimony because I posted the wrong link by accident. So I just wanted you to know what my purpose in my presentation about herbs are. That I believe conventional medicine can be good when you have to use it in certain situations, but basically it just puts a band-aid on the problem by treating the symptoms. The best thing to do is just to follow what God has laid out for us here with these natural treatments that will treat the root cause of the problem, and a lot of times will heal the issue. So thanks, and see you later.